Hello, Libra, the cosmic keeper of harmony, justice, and radiant beauty. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. What if I told you that the moment you clicked this video, you stepped into a divine alignment that has been quietly orchestrated by the universe? This isn't coincidence. This is timing. Sacred. Specific. Meant just for you. Because something is about to shift. And not just in a subtle way, but in a way that will catch even you by surprise. Something is moving toward you. Unexpectedly, powerfully, and with purpose. And when it lands, Libra, you're going to shock everyone around you, including yourself. Maybe you felt it already, a strange tug, a series of signs, a sudden memory you couldn't explain. Or maybe you've been restless, sensing something is off, but not knowing why. Today's reading isn't just another horoscope. It's an invitation into a higher conversation, one that your soul has been whispering about long before your mind caught on. Whether you are a Libra sun, moon, or rising, or perhaps someone drawn here through synchronicity, you are here because your energy is ready. You've been heard. You are being seen. And now it's time to remember why you came. Let's pause for a moment, not for me, but for you. Place your hand over your heart and just ask yourself, why am I really here right now? Feel that? That's your own intuition responding. That's your deeper knowing activating. Because Libra, you're not here to chase balance. You're here to embody it. I invite you to drop your sacred number 6 in the comments below. 6 is the number of divine harmony, nurturing energy, and restored connection. It signals to the universe that you're open, receptive, and willing to receive what's coming. And before we go further, let me take a sacred breath to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of this space. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, it's not just support. It's a pulse of energy that keeps this soul circle alive. Your presence allows Zodiac Whisper Tarot to continue delivering these transformative messages to seekers like you. So from the depths of my heart, thank you. And trust me, beloved Libra, you're going to want to stay with me until the very end of this message. Because what the cosmos is about to unveil is breathtaking. You're not watching this by chance. You were guided. Now tell me, my loyal Libras, what was it, deep inside, that drew you here today? Let's begin. So let's take a breath together, soft, steady, grounded. There's a shift happening now, not around you, but within you. If the beginning of this journey called your spirit to attention, then what you're about to feel is the quiet pull of inner knowing, the kind that doesn't shout, but whispers gently in moments of stillness. You see, Libra, harmony isn't the absence of conflict or chaos, it's the quiet strength to hold both beauty and truth in the same hand and not look away. Too often, we equate balance with pleasing others, with keeping the peace at any cost. But true balance, the kind that liberates rather than constricts, requires courage. Courage to speak when the world expects you to stay silent. Courage to feel your emotions deeply, even if they make others uncomfortable. Courage to tell yourself the truth, especially when it's easier to pretend everything is fine. And that's where the message of this moment reveals its weight. The presence of the High Priestess in this reading is no accident. She is the guardian of the unseen, the keeper of sacred truths buried beneath logic. Her message isn't loud or dramatic, it's subtle and serene, like the moment right before a realization dawns. She asks you not to push, not to chase, not to explain yourself endlessly. Instead, she invites you to trust the intelligence of your own stillness. What you seek is already within you. What you fear facing is the very doorway to your next expansion. In astrology, Libra governs the 7th house of relationships, reflection, and sacred mirrors. And so it's no surprise that this moment calls for reflection. Not surface-level thinking, but the deep kind, the kind that happens when you dare to sit with a question longer than the world tells you is comfortable. What have you not been telling yourself? What inner dialogue have you ignored to keep the outer world undisturbed? The High Priestess invites you to stop censoring your intuition just to maintain harmony. Numerologically, the number 2 surrounds you now. It is the number of partnership, duality, and alignment. It teaches us that balance is not found by erasing contrast, but by honoring it. 2 truths can exist at once. You can be peaceful and assertive, soft and strong, doubtful and faithful. There is no need to choose one over the other. That is the wisdom you are being asked to hold now, to become the bridge between extremes, the sacred middle ground, not out of fear, but out of trust. As you absorb this message, pay attention to your environment. Notice the soft whites, the dusty rose colors that appear. These are your lucky tones for this phase, guiding you back to clarity and grace. These hues carry the vibration of gentle power, of clear boundaries that don't need to be shouted to be respected. They remind you that softness is not weakness, it's refinement. And perhaps today, the invitation is simple: take out a piece of paper and write the thing you've been afraid to admit to yourself. Don't filter it, don't edit it, don't explain it. Just write it. Because bringing truth into the light is an act of healing. And healing isn't always a grand revelation, it begins in small, sacred acts of honesty. The divine never demands perfection. It encourages awareness. You don't have to fix everything right now. You don't even have to know everything. But if you are willing to lustento your body, your heart, your breath, you'll begin to remember that peace is not something you perform. It's something you embody. So hold still. Be honest. And let what's been waiting to rise, rise. There's a quiet sense of restoration unfolding now, like the soft closing of a chapter that once felt chaotic or uncertain. And Libra, you more than anyone understand the beauty of cycles, how things naturally tip and sway until they find their center again. Right now, the universe is gently steering you back toward that center in the area of your work and financial life. It's not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes the return to balance happens in whispers, in small but significant shifts that say, "You're safe to trust again." The appearance of the 6 of Pentacles is a powerful affirmation of that shift. In astrology and tarot, this card is about reciprocity, about giving and receiving in equal measure. But more deeply, it's about the healing that takes place when you stop seeing success or money as a battle to win, and instead as a current to flow with. You might soon receive something unexpected: support, a gift, a raise, or even a kind gesture that relieves a burden. And if you're in a position to give, you may find that offering help doesn't deplete you, it actually renews your own abundance. That's the quiet magic of energetic exchange. What you offer with sincerity never leaves you empty. It returns, multiplied. This moment also asks you to reflect on your relationship with value, not just financial value, but self-worth. Have you been undervaluing your time? Your voice? Your creative gifts? Sometimes we give too much without asking if the scales still serve us. Other times, we hesitate to receive, feeling guilty for being blessed when others may struggle. But remember, being blessed doesn't make you selfish. It makes you available to uplift others when your cup is full. You are not here to carry everyone. You are here to circulate what flows through you: wisdom, kindness, talent, and yes, even wealth. On a practical level, this is a good time to gently reassess your financial habits. Are you nurturing your future while still allowing yourself to enjoy the present? Are you investing in your own peace emotionally, creatively, spiritually? One helpful practice is to allocate a small portion of your income towards something that feeds your soul. That might be therapy, a painting class, a short weekend retreat, or even a few hours unplugged with a journal and a cup of tea. This isn't indulgence. It's inner maintenance. Numerology echoes this message with the sacred number 6, a number tied to home, harmony, and inner renewal. 6 isn't just about domestic balance, it's about tending to what sustains you on all levels. When your work life is rooted in care and intention, success feels softer, and more importantly, sustainable. In Scripture, we're reminded often that being a good steward of our time, our talents, and our resources is not about sacrifice, but about purpose. You don't need to burn out to prove your worth. You don't need to give everything to be seen as generous. True abundance lives where wisdom meets compassion, and where integrity guides your decisions, not pressure. So let this be a chapter where your actions stem from clarity, not exhaustion. From desire, not fear. Let your money work with you, not against you. Let your talents bloom because you want them to, not because you think you have to prove anything. There is dignity in steady growth, Libra. There is power in pause. And there is grace in the kind of success that doesn't need to shout to be real. Trust that what you are building now financially, creatively, energetically is not just about surviving the present. It's about shaping a future where you feel whole, seen, and supported. Because that, truly, is what balance was always meant to feel like. And now, we move into the tender terrain of the heart, the space where emotions rise before words are formed, and where connection becomes both mirror and medicine. Libra, you've always had a deep understanding of relationships, of how two energies come together to create something more beautiful than they could alone. But even for you, the dance of love isn't always effortless. Sometimes, it takes courage to truly be seen. Not just the polished version of yourself, but the soft, uncertain, deeply human parts you often hide beneath layers of grace. The presence of the Two of Cups in this reading brings a message of emotional reciprocity and magnetic alignment. It's a sign that the energy of mutual recognition is active in your field. Someone, whether already present or soon arriving, has the potential to meet you where you are. To see you, not through judgment, but through the quiet awe that comes from genuine understanding. This isn't about grand gestures or perfect timing. It's about subtle, soul-level connection, the kind that makes you feel like you can breathe deeper just by being near them. If you're navigating life solo right now, trust that your energy is becoming a beacon. But that doesn't mean you have to rush into anything. In fact, this is a sacred time to honor your own emotional rhythm. The more you accept yourself without needing to be chosen, the more naturally you attract someone who chooses you without hesitation. Real connection begins not when you are flawless, but when you are honest. And if you're already in a relationship, consider this your invitation to return to presence. Not to fix or force anything, but to gently notice what may have gone unspoken. Sometimes the most powerful reset comes not from trying harder, but from listening more softly. In emotional healing, we often speak about holding space, creating a safe, non-judgmental environment where someone feels free to express without fear. But how often do we offer that same space to ourselves? If love is about being seen, it starts by seeing yourself clearly and kindly. What are the things you desire in love that you've been afraid to say out loud? What are you willing to offer from a place of abundance, not expectation? Writing these truths down can be a gentle act of self-honoring, and also a profound way to realign your energy with the kind of connection you truly seek. As you reflect, allow the soft hues of pearl green and blush rose to accompany you. These are not just colors theory energetic frequencies that reflect your inner longing for balance, harmony, and healing. Wear them. Surround yourself with them. Let them remind you that love doesn't have to be loud to be real. It can be quiet, present, and unmistakably true. There's also a quiet wisdom in remembering that we are not meant to carry our hearts alone. There's grace in allowing someone in, just as there is power in knowing when to step back. Sometimes love is receiving help you didn't know how to ask for. Sometimes it's allowing joy without guilt. And sometimes, it's simply choosing to stay open even after you've been hurt. From a place of faith, we're often reminded that love is patient and kind, not boastful or demanding. It doesn't insist on its own way, and it holds space for growth. You're not here to earn love through performance. You're here to experience it through presence. Let this be your soft return to that truth, not through urgency, but through gentle readiness. So wherever your heart finds itself today in hope, in grief, in longing, or in love, know that it is valid. You are worthy of a connection that reflects your depth, not one that asks you to shrink. Let yourself be seen, Libra. The right hearts will recognize the light you've been carrying all along. Sometimes the greatest shift in life doesn't begin with something loud or external, but with the quiet moment you finally listen to yourself. After exploring the heart and its capacity for honest connection, we now turn inward, toward the sanctuary of your physical and emotional well-being. This is where alignment becomes real, where balance isn't just a concept but something you live, feel, and breathe each day. For Libra, whose natural instinct is to harmonize the outer world, this is an especially meaningful reminder. Peace does not come from making everything around you perfect. It comes from attuning to your own inner rhythm and letting that guide your choices. The Temperance card arrives like a gentle guardian in this chapter of your life. It doesn't rush or demand. It simply offers you the image of steady, flowing balance, the kind that's sustainable, nourishing, and rooted in wisdom. In astrology, this energy mirrors the beauty of a well-aspect Venus or a grounded Saturn transit, structure infused with gentleness. It tells you that caring for your health isn't just about discipline, it's about consistency fueled by love. Right now, your body may be asking for a different kind of attention, not in reaction to stress or fear, but as a conscious act of respect. Your nervous system is a delicate compass, and your emotional body holds memory long after the mind moves on. So when your digestion feels off, or your energy dips without warning, don't dismiss it. That's your body speaking the language of wisdom. It's asking you to slow down, to adjust, to nurture. One way to honor this is through small, grounding rituals. Starting your morning with warm lemon water, for example, is not just good for digestion, it sets the tone that you matter enough to care for yourself first. Incorporating foods that balance your inner chemistry, like flax seeds or calming teas, is less about rules and more about relationship between what you consume and how you feel. Healing isn't punishment. It's remembering how to treat your body like someone you love. Breathwork, too, is your ally now. A simple 5-5-5 rhythm: inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5, exhale for 5 can shift your state from survival to presence in less than a minute. Try it the next time you feel overstimulated. Light a candle. Sit with yourself. You'll be surprised how quickly your energy begins to reset when you just give it permission to pause. Emotionally, this is a powerful time to practice reflection. Not to overanalyze, but to listen. Writing down your thoughts with one question, "What is my heart trying to tell me today?" can be an incredibly healing act. You don't need to fix everything you write. Just naming it is enough to begin. In numerology, the number 14, which reduces to 5, supports this theme of thoughtful transformation. It suggests that change doesn't always need to be disruptive. It can start with small, intentional steps: a new routine, a clearer boundary, a gentler way of speaking to yourself. And that's the kind of change that lasts. There's also a deeper invitation here, one that echoes spiritual teachings found across traditions: the idea that peace is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of clarity. You don't have to know all the answers to rest. You don't need to fix every emotion to feel calm. Sometimes, you just need to be still long enough to hear what's already within you. Let this be your permission to slow down. To check in. To care for yourself with the same devotion you often offer others. Because your health, physical, emotional, spiritual, is not separate from your purpose. It is the foundation of your purpose. And when you are well within, you are a clearer channel for all the beauty you're here to create. There's something beautifully gentle about what's beginning to unfold here. After tending to your physical and emotional well-being, the energy now shifts into the realm of manifestation, of possibility, potential, and the unseen forces moving quietly in your favor. The Empress shows up not just as a symbol of abundance, but as an invitation to step into the flow of receiving, not because you've worked hard enough, or earned enough, or pushed enough, but simply because you are aligned with what is ready to bloom through you. The Empress teaches us that creation doesn't need to be forced. It needs to be allowed. That might sound simple, but for many of you, especially those who are used to proving themselves, it's one of the hardest lessons to embody. Libra, your natural tendency to bring beauty and balance to others can sometimes lead you to overextend, to give more than you receive, to orchestrate peace even when your own soul is tired. But what if you didn't have to try so hard? What if your next chapter didn't require striving but softening? The truth is, the law of attraction doesn't respond to effort, it responds to frequency. To the quality of your belief, the ease in your body, the openness in your energy. When you chase, you send out the signal that you're still missing something. When you settle into trust, you become magnetic to what matches your peace. That's what it means to align, not to force things into place, but to become the kind of person who naturally attracts what they desire because they've already made space for it. Making space can be literal clearing out a drawer, cleaning your room, removing things you've outgrown. But more often, it's energetic. It's releasing old thought patterns, letting go of timelines that aren't rooted in joy, creating stillness so inspiration can find you. If your life feels cluttered with noise, it may be time to pause and ask, what am I holding onto out of fear? What would it feel like to simply allow? Start each morning by visualizing not just what you want, but how it feels to already live it. Not from a place of desperation, but from quiet knowing. Let the images form gently in your mind: a peaceful home, a purposeful career, fulfilling love, radiant health. Stay with those feelings for just a few minutes, long enough to anchor the vibration into your body. That moment of alignment becomes a seed planted in the soil of your future. There's a quiet power in remembering that you don't need to do more to be worthy of good things. You need to believe they are already making their way to you and prepare to receive them. As one divine principle reminds us, we are not called to toil endlessly, but to walk in faith, doing our part with grace while trusting the rest to unfold. This is not passivity, it's presence. It's choosing to act from love, not lack. If you've been feeling impatient, uncertain, or like nothing's moving fast enough, let this be your reassurance. Growth happens underground long before we see evidence. Just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it isn't already in motion. The Empress doesn't question the seed once it's planted. She nurtures the soil, tends to the light, and waits with confidence. So now, Libra, take a breath and remind yourself, you don't have to earn every breakthrough through exhaustion. You are not behind. You are becoming. Make room, and the miracle will meet you where you are. And now, dear Libra, as we come to the closing breath of this journey together, I want you to remember something simple but powerful. You don't need to be everything to everyone. You don't have to stretch yourself thin in the name of peace or approval. The harmony you seek does not begin out there, it begins within you. And that kind of peace, the deep and steady kind, comes when you allow yourself to be real, to be honest, to be seen, especially by your own heart. This reading was never about predicting your future, it was about helping you remember that you are part of what creates it. Every decision you make, every boundary you honor, every moment you choose rest over resistance, alignment over approval, that is where your power lives. You've been taught to believe that keeping others happy is the road to peace. But what if the real path to peace is simply being in integrity with your truth? Let me ask you something: what might shift in your life if you stopped apologizing for your needs? What kind of love might find you if you stopped performing and simply allowed yourself to receive? What would open up for you emotionally, physically, creatively if you chose to move with the rhythm of your intuition rather than the noise of external expectation? You don't have to answer right away. But I encourage you to hold these questions close. Reflect on them. Journal about them. Sit with them under the sky. Because these are not just ideas, they are doorways. And the more you walk through them with intention, the more your life will begin to feel like a mirror of your most authentic self. This video was a message, yes, but it was also an invitation. An invitation to soften, to trust, to practice. Everything we explored today about listening to your body, honoring your emotions, nurturing your creativity, and aligning with the frequency of receiving these are not once-in-a-lifetime revelations. They are daily rituals. Quiet choices. Inner recalibrations. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this reading, it's this: you don't need to force your way into your future. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not too much. What is meant for you is not running from you, it's waiting for you to slow down and meet it in your own time. So here's a gentle challenge: sometime today, find one small way to show up for yourself. Whether it's a few minutes of breath work, writing down what your heart needs, letting go of one limiting belief, or even just giving yourself permission to rest, start there. And notice how even the smallest act of alignment begins to create space for something new. If any part of today's message resonated with you, I would love to hear it. What stood out most? What are you ready to release? What are you calling in next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all, and your reflections help this space grow into a true community. And if you're still here with me, I want to say this from the deepest part of my heart: thank you. Thank you for your presence, for your trust, for your time. Every like, every comment, every subscribe you give to this channel isn't just a number, it's a heartbeat. It's a ripple of energy that helps Zodiac Whisper Tarot continue bringing these soul-centered messages to people just like you. So truly thank you. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell, so you don't miss the next whisper from the universe. And if you felt held, seen, or inspired today, please give this video a like. It helps more than you know. And finally, if you're feeling brave, drop the affirmation in the comments. I am open to receiving what aligns with my highest peace. And if you made it all the way here, leave your Libra symbol Libra in the comments so I know you're one of the true lights of this cosmic circle. Until next time, dear soul, stay true, stay soft, and keep choosing yourself. Always.